Open the meeting of Whately Board of Assessors on February 5th, 2026. First item on the agenda is review minutes from last meeting of December 18th. And we already did that, took action on approving them at the last meeting where you weren't here. We did meet on what's the date?
Oh, there's this last Thursday when I had the car issue.
And here is, we all signed off, you can give that, I didn't give it to, Jessica, whatever, so we already did that, just.
I think that's actually, James now, the accountant.
Oh, the account?
Yeah, he's now, I was talking to him earlier, he's now the new assistant town clerk.
Assistant
Jessica was
to the town clerk.
correct, Jessica was the assistant town clerk, now she's the administrative assistant to Pete, and James, the accountant, has taken over the assistant role to Amy, the town clerk.
Okay. I thought, well, so James is a town employee?
What's that?
James is a town employee, or is he part of FERCog that's doing?
No, he's your accountant here.
Yeah, he's full-time?
I think your accountant is either 15 or 20 hours a week, it's a part-time position.
Okay, so, the only suggestion that future minutes of the meeting, the dates, the dates wrong, just pay attention to the dates up there at the top. It was confusing when I crossed off that were the minutes of the 18th, but you had minutes discussed on the 22nd or something, so just pay attention.
No, so review minutes goes here, and this is the date that we have the meeting to review.
Yeah.
Those are correct.
Okay,
This is
but
the date we do it, and then it says reviewing the minutes of December 18th.
yeah, okay. Fine, okay. Next item is signing our bill schedule for CA Technologies and Tax.
So if you want on this, Fred, I'm gonna give you numbers 3 and 6 together. They're both just bill signings. Number 6 is the Amazon billing for the new computer, the monitor, and the HDMI.
And this is just Fred that signs these, correct?
Yes, yep.
So what's the status of the new computer here? You're having problems connecting remote or something, or?
Yes, I'm still trying to get that figured out. I had David Menzel along with me yesterday, and hopefully we're gonna get it figured out.
Now, that's for you to access it only, so that has nothing to do with our software, that's your software?
So log me in order to put something like log me in on the computer with the access going to RRG, it has to get downloaded. And so David sent me a link. I came in on Tuesday morning to put it on, and then when I tried last night, it didn't come up. So it looks like it's okay now. I tried from home last night, but it was saying that the computer was offline, which would mean basically that the power had gone off and the computer was off this morning, so I'll try it again tonight. And if that doesn't work, I'll probably come down tomorrow, and we'll get it fixed within the next week.
Okay, so you're working on that,
With David Menzel. Yep.
So this office doesn't have anything to do with that. Nobody here is helping you with that?
For the login,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be anything that the town will be doing, no.
Well, isn't that the same process you have for, say, Conway and River? I'm just curious, it doesn't matter, I guess.
Yeah, so so even like when they went Conway, they have to do a download of the logme, and what happened is because we switched the computers, and I wasn't aware of this until I reached out to David and said, hey, I can't log in. I said, oh, because I have to send you a link, you have to download it onto the computer, and then it gives the access to the computer. So I had him remote in with me yesterday, so he could see what was going on it. And basically, when you go into the settings, it was connecting it, I believe, to the old computer, which is no longer on. So if you try to go online, you can't connect, obviously, to a computer that's not on. Alright, so, I might,
And then, two, while we're talking about that, the tax mapping, okay, the maps in the office been updated. There's a, what do you call it, atlas or whatever there, is all the new maps, or you get new maps every so often, and they've been updated in there?
Nothing since David Burgess left, no. So,
But before that, you were getting new GIS maps?
I didn't do any of the updating on the maps, David did, so I'd have to have David Manzello or somebody look at it and see.
Okay, you weren't doing it, okay, but David Burgess was doing that?
Yes,
Okay. And the other thing, I was in there looking the other day for looking at a map or something. Yeah, there's a few that are need to be updated or put into the atlas, I guess. The other thing was
you talking about Axis?
that.
Atlas is an, that's an RMB.
No, the hard copy of the maps that were sitting somewhere in the file, I don't know exactly what. It seems some of them were updates to the atlas file, directory file that we had prior maps that need to be incorporated in pages. They insert.
Okay, yeah, I could check with David.
Yeah,
It's not something I ever did, Fred, so I wouldn't have, I wouldn't have any knowledge to explain how or wasn't done.
And the other thing that wasn't done, hasn't done yet, is it's called the street listing. For 26 values, 25 is in there. There's no updates for 26.
For a street listing?
Yeah, there's a notebook there that has the street listings that has, one section is alphabetical by property owner. Then it goes into the second part of it is by, property description code. And then there's also another section that lists the commercial, industrial, and personal property. The last update was done in like January, February of 25, so the 26 data has to be uploaded in there.
All right, like I said, I'll bring all that up to David tomorrow and I'll take the map, whatever's in there, if any more maps with me and have him take a look at it.
Maps and that street listing, I think just to maintain our files there in the office. So.
Yep. All right, so maps and street listing.
I don't remember who did it before, whether it was Steven did it before he left the last time or not. I don't remember.
No, that probably would have been David. I tell Stephen, figured that out. All right, so maps updated and street listing 26 updated.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. I'll mention it to him.
Okay, item number 4 is signing of any exemptions, return to assessor's office.
Yep. Okay, so we have, that is. That is the veterans and any senior exemptions that they have received to now.
These,
And this is all of the applications with their certificates stapled to them. You guys want to look through it. Most of these you already signed off on. This one here, still needs a signing. Joseph came in today. He had updated paperwork, so he was initially being put through for 400, but he's actually a full, so he gets the 1,000.
okay, if these are for veterans, what is it? Real estate exemptions, okay, this is for veterans. Is that what this is?
Veterans and any senior exemptions that would have come in.
To sign these.
Yes,
So,
yeah, those should be signed by the board.
do we each sign? I'm sorry, I'm.
Yep. Yep, so you have these 3 lines right
Okay.
here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then Jane's got all the paperwork for any of those that went through.
So if they're in the stack, they're approved, right?
Yeah, if they're in
Okay.
this stack, so over here, where you
Okay.
see ownership, occupancy and status.
Okay,
So I verified all those right there.
okay,
The ownership, I verified in the computer, the occupancy, I verified with Angel Valley,
Okay.
she has a straight listing on it. And then the status, I verified with their veterans benefit
Okay.
papers.
okay, so we have to check the grant. Yes.
Oh, yeah, well, I didn't check any granted tonight, because you guys need to vote on it first, and,
Oh, okay,
you know,
okay,
agree on, so.
okay,
So then we're all the individual applications that are listed here.
Correct, yeah, everything you see there, Fred, is reflective of the applications right here.
I think I asked you this last time, and I noticed that there's also another one this time. The people died during the year.
Oh,
Is
the
that-
Kennedy one, he did, yep, I verified that. So
that's-
he's alive at the time that he applied. So July 1st. If he applies for, anybody that applies for an exemption, if they're alive on July 1st, the date that they're eligible for it, the exemption still gets put through.
Okay.
Okay, and that is for fiscal 26.
26,
taxes.
yep, so he passed in October. And obviously, July 1st, he would have still been alive of this year, so he qualifies for this year.
Yeah,
Nobody can obviously apply on it next year.
right, the other one was Jim Ross, and we're also only
Which recently passed.
recently passed, so I assume he did,
Oh, I didn't know that.
he applied, well, was it January 15th, or
It was recent.
recent, January of this year, yeah,
Jane's father.
JG, yeah. Okay,
He was.
Say JP?
JG is he's on the planning board. He built my house.
his
Oh,
his
okay, I'm
father.
thinking, yeah, the fire chief,
yeah. Oh,
that's JP, right?
okay,
JP Walker.
JP Kennedy, I think it is.
JP Kennedy, yeah. I guess we don't do anything with that, he signed these other.
About the first 6, Fred, you'll eventually come to one that we've already signed.
Well, on that one there that you have, Mike, if you guys can all just sign below it so that I can submit that to.
Right on this page.
Yeah, that's fine. Just, I'm gonna make copies and submit that to Jennifer Day, the collector, so she can process.
This is like the sound you're done with that list.
There's 2 here, guys, sorry. After I did this morning, I had 2 more. One was, as I mentioned, the Joseph Corpiesi, thank you. So I had already processed him, and then he came in today, because he had the paperwork that he's actually supposed to get the $1,000 exemption, not the 400, which I put through. So on the second sheet, and I spoke with the collector, she said, leave the other at the 4 and just do an additional for 600 to get the total value.
Either done.
All the CPA values are 3% of whatever the award was.
Sign them for the contract.
Okay. These names having been gone for 32 years, these names still ring a bell. Boy told for Kevin's.
Is that Chester's?
Yeah. Boy. I'm not been trying.
Yeah, he was in the office. I started, it's very interesting, man, though. He was in the Orioles farm system,
Really?
up to be a third baseman, and guess who he lost his job to?
Who?
Brooks Robinson.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
That's a nice name dropper thing to lose a job to.
yeah, you can't really be too disappointed with yourself if you lose to somebody like that.
Okay, I guess we're down to number 7, real estate, personal property tax abatement.
Oh, actually, 5.
Oh.
We have 2 motor vehicle commitments. The first is the last of last year, commitment 7. And then the second is commitment 1. On commitment 1, I printed the first and the last page because it's like 200 and some pages, so I gave you the beginning and then the total of it.
But I'm on that list.
All right,
Mhm.
okay, it's in my paperwork.
I did some money, the new vehicle came in around $970. Sure. That's that, yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe I get the old vehicle paperwork in.
yeah, fuel up, it's only what, 85 or something, right?
Oh, no, it was,
More than that, mine was the minimum of the one.
the old one was at least 500.
Okay.
I wonder for B. Exercise commitments. Number 7 for 2021. Why on it? That matters.
And then when the commitments is I had 3 motor vehicle excise abatements.
I'll go over. This is, not a Whately office.
So we have to sign each of these, right?
What am I signing for?
Yes.
It's a new piece of equipment.
That's a
I
good
know.
work on.
The scene you're bringing.
So somebody's checked all these and now everything will be found, right? Okay,
That's a computer run program, right?
Yeah, everything that's on those, anytime I give you guys commitments, Jennifer and I, the collector, we sit down and go through it. All of the commitment 1, all of the municipal vehicles get pulled out ahead of time because they're exempt, and then we just print it off of whatever the total is after that.
This is a warrant letter. What does this say we can bill? With,
that allows them to process it.
which is a warrant, that's a warrant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was, yeah.
Yeah.
This, and this one is,
That's a different one. It's the same
it's, these are,
vehicle.
the excise rebates.
It's still on a vehicle. It's a different time. It's commitment seven. That's, what is that?
Commitment one, different one over
Yeah.
there, which is,
These are motor vehicle abatements.
Yeah, on the commitment one, Mike, if you look on the back side, you'll see the total right out.
yeah, what is it different, commercial versus, what is 1 versus 7?
Oh, 7 is just the last commitment from last year, commitment number 7.
Okay.
And then commitment 1 is the first one of this year.
Oh.
That's why the amount on, so you, and I was asking Jen about that, that's why the amount on commitment 7 was, 1,869, and that one's a few hundred thousand, or quite a few hundred
That
thousand.
much in excise tax.
Yeah,
A little surprised. Two taxes I did not have in Florida, excise and income.
what's that?
Didn't have an income tax in Florida or an excise tax. None in Florida,
Where do they get the revenue? Where do they go to their
property done.
property value?
Then you get the average sale down there in Mark with, 100. Might be more than that, maybe 3 of that I saw last average sale. And their village was 12, as I remember it, between 11 and 12. Is the village rate, it's a good village. I'm trying to should have this. Sure. Thank you. Does the computer manually prorate the abatements? Or does that have to be done by hand?
What's that?
Does the computer manually prorate abatements for motor vehicles, or is that?
Yeah, so
by hand?
no, when we do it on Invadar, Mike,
Yeah.
so I enter their information and then based off of when the cancellation of the plate
Right,
is.
the computer does it.
Yeah, I just put in how many months and then it just gives me the figure and then I copy them from there.
Good, good. It's good to know.
It's good to have. I don't want to be responsible.
Oh, you
for doing
mean-
it manually.
Well, we had to do that in real estate all the time, and it's not easy. Being paid in advance or paid in arrears.
And can you do that remotely or do you have to be here in office?
No, I can do that remotely.
By the way, taxes in Florida, property tax are paid in arrears. It's not in advance.
So when you sell, you have to pay both.
Well, if you
Arrears and-
sell on January 1st and it closes on October 1st, you're gonna owe those 10 months. Cause you owe the property, you own the property. Makes sense, but it's different. Here it's in advance.
Okay, so now, real estate personal property tax abatement.
How about the
That was.
Amazon bill, you already do that?
Yeah, we did that.
No, sorry.
Yep, that's fine.
We do that. Okay, we're number 7, what, real estate?
So 7 and 9 on here are essentially the same thing, correct?
Right, okay.
Okay, I'm just asking if it was set for a different reason. So our real estate deadline date was this past Monday, February 2nd. And I did come in on Monday, for a few hours in the morning in case anybody had, last minute abatements, which I did get a few of them. I spent today. It's technically, if you like, I spent today going through and just organizing the abatements, printing out the current property record cards for them and looking through them, to see what I can and can't do ahead of time. One of them in there is an administrative abatement. It was, a taking by, I guess, DCR, fishing game, from a Warren Jones, from 2 years ago that was never updated in the system, back in 24. And so I've updated that. So that one's null and void. That's already straight in the system. And on the backside of the one that says Warren Jones is the current property record card that does show, I think it says Massachusetts Commission of Fish and Game or whatever their official title is. So that one's all set. I think there's 8 total. There's another one that's a fire abatement for Greg Sweeter, I think was the name. That was on November 2nd of this past year. I spoke with him on the phone earlier and let him know that I would be going up to Leominster tomorrow to discuss that with David to find out how we go about abating it. We had a fire in Leverett that I did with David Burgess, and my understanding is the general way that if somebody has a fire, we abate it is being that the fire's on November 2nd. First, he pays the total land value for the year because he still owns the property. So it's considered as though it would be vacant, so you pay that full price. On the building itself, he'll pay the full value from July 1st until the date of the fire on November 2nd. And then we can prorate from November 2nd through the end of the year.
Okay, so whatever value put on November 2nd.
Right, I mean, essentially, if they can't live in the house right now, the building value becomes a 0 from November 2nd through the end of the year. And from what he has, you'll read it on the abatement, from what he has on the abatement, it sounds like it's gonna be at least a year before they're able to be back in the house. When I spoke to him today, he said that there was like a lockbox there and that, there was some company out of Greenfield that was, like fire company that I guess goes into houses afterwards to clean out whatever and make sure that, you can actually walk into it safely. But like I said to him, that's all I know on that until I discuss it with David and find out exactly how to go about abating it.
Yeah.
On the other 6, they're all basically questioning on overvaluations. 2 of the other 6 have roughly, oh God, between 20 to I think one of them is 32 pages I got back for the abatement.
Wow.
So
That's ambitious.
those I took a general look at, and I'm gonna bring those up tomorrow, when I go up and go through I'll be going through all the abatements basically tomorrow, when I'm up there. On the computer, I have set up, an abatement log with, street analysis and a sales analysis. And so once I've had a chance to go through these with them, and then, set all those up, I'll set up a separate page as I did Conway for each application. The only ones I'm not gonna set anything up for on the abatement log as far as any kind of an analysis would obviously be the administrative abatement because the gentleman didn't own the house anymore. And then obviously, on the fire, there's not gonna be a need to do a street analysis because he's not questioning anything on the value of the house. It's simply, can you help us out as he wrote on it because of the fire itself.
Well,
That plastic goes on, I think you don't need to take it off, but
so I guess we should. Yeah, what can I take? So I hate to take time off during a meeting. You've got a 5 o'clock.
I have an appointment at 6 o'clock, but I live an hour from here.
5.
At 5, yeah.
Okay.
So we can review
Yeah,
those.
look at these after.
Yeah.
But you said, okay, you're creating a file with the address owner and abatement, is that done yet? Do you have a file on that?
What's that?
Your summary file you were creating of all of these abatement requests,
That's what I just talked about, Fred. I have the
Yeah.
abatement log on the computer.
we have that already.
Yep.
Can you send us that so we can see?
Well, there's nothing, the only thing that's on there is the names of the people and that they filed. There isn't gonna be any analysis because we haven't had a chance to, one, go through the applications. And then two, I need to call the folks after I've gone through the applications to set up the inspections. And then once I've done the inspections and got the results, then I'll put on what the results are and then present it to you folks in a meeting to either grant or deny.
Okay, who's gonna be doing the inspections?
Wait,
I'm certain.
Okay.
You are,
I,
yeah, that's fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just.
I just said Mike, no, I'm not.
no, me, sorry, me.
Okay, and is that during your 8 hours that you're supposed to be here in town, or is that other?
No, that'll be during the 8 hours that I'm here. Yep.
Well,
If somebody can't do it on the Thursday, then I'll try to go on Tuesday around Leverett.
okay. And. There's, I don't want, in the past, somebody else from RNG came, but it was David Burgess came.
Well, like I said, Fred, we just got all these in on Monday, so that's what I know of it right now. When I go up tomorrow and I speak with David Manzello, I can get more clarity and I'll be happy to send you three an email as to what we've discussed and what we set up.
Are those left in the office or do you take them with you to RRG?
What's that?
Are those left in the office or you take?
No, I gotta take, if I don't take them up.
No, I understand, I'm just trying to figure out, when
look-
we could take a peek also.
Look at this after,
After, okay.
because the other part of that, I got a direct email from. An attorney here wanting to, talking about abatement process, I haven't. Looked at it, I guess I'd like to make a copy. This is, I guess. More serious than these, because this hired an attorney and is threatening to go to ATV, so.
What property's that?
That's the one we didn't resolve last year on North Street.
I was gonna say, you can't say the address.
Well, no, it's on North Street,
Oh,
and I don't
okay.
know how that one, I haven't heard the final result of that one, and I don't know whether this. Goes on top of that. Request from last year or not.
As far as that one goes, I can check tomorrow with him, but my understanding with that is status quo. That is between you guys and David Manzello. I don't have anything to do with that one.
Well,
Can we get a copy of that, by any chance?
yeah, this one, yeah, we'll make a copy after
Yeah,
the meeting
I'd
of
like
this
to do
one,
that.
and, it's like.
You're referring to the same one from last summer, correct?
I don't know, I haven't looked, I just opened my mail, and came to here. And this is a different abatement request, yeah, that's
I believe
North,
that's
yeah,
the same one.
yeah, it's the same location, but we don't know if it's the same request. So, okay, we'll make a copy here. 'cause-
Yeah, if you don't mind, actually, let me take that now and I'm gonna make a copy so I can bring it up tomorrow to him. He may have already gotten sent to him, but let me bring it up so
Okay,
that he gets a
please.
chance to look at it.
Okay, came to me registered mail, so I guess I
I'll
responsible.
give it to.
Yeah, make each one of us a copy,
That'd be great.
make it
And,
So you'll have this one and then I'll make one for you, and then so 3 copies.
3 copies,
Yeah,
yes,
it's
3
pretty nice.
copies, yeah.
okay, let me ask before we get too far, I did minutes last week.
Yeah,
And, I don't know if you want to review the minutes either, which is
Well-
basically tabling of almost everything we've been going through.
so then we approved, we're on the
These are
agenda,
from last week.
Last week.
right, we're the ones 2 weeks, a week before that.
Well, I don't know if you want to put this in the record or just,
Should go into record. We met, it was recorded.
okay, well, basically I gave each one of you a copy. And they probably, they need to be tweaked just a bit, because, the very first thing I wanna tweak is, reviewed minutes of our last BOA meeting. I don't remember what date.
I think it was December 18th.
Was it December?
That's what,
18th.
So I should put 12/18 on this?
Yeah, sure, okay.
Seems like so long ago.
oh, a year ago.
Oh, you're, good point. And again, feel free to tweak that a bit. I just wanted to make sure I got something down.
And thank you for doing it, Mike.
So sure, I
Yeah, that looks fine for me. Yeah, we should give it.
Derek. The
So do you want to, oh,
initial,
I'll give my
Yeah.
copy and you can keep yours.
yeah, that was probably important.
I didn't date it. I didn't put today's date on it, right? So you may want to.
And are we already do we need Derek or anything else moving forward?
Yes.
We do, okay.
Yeah, we have to sign the budget.
Oh, that's kind of important. I was of the,
Sign, put your name on here.
I briefly spoke with Peter today. He said we had been given this request some time ago that we were behind. Yeah, I don't remember an email, but that's fine. So what he did was he went to the board last night. Yeah, well, to the select board. And basically said, unless we disagree today, he says the budget as he saw it was fine, but unless we disagree today.
Yeah, right.
And he also admitted to me, this not very complicated looking.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's more line items that we need on there, some are so small, it don't make a difference, I guess. Okay, so we give this to Derek, okay. All right. The other thing I want to talk about, here's what I put together. We're asking about the land.
Oh, gotcha.
The land values. I tweaked it a little with Jane's comments, so I guess I added a sentence or something.
Yeah,
If we agree with that.
I think, after looking at it over and over again and kind of diving into it, well, this is not. In West Whately, is about 25,000 less than it is here.
Yeah.
What's the cost of the well? It's about 25,000. There it is. So I think what I was trying to argue is that if you were to buy a lot in West Whately, my mother's lot, 1 acre lot, where you have to spend $20,000 or more to drill a well, or Pine Plains Estates, or anywhere in East Whately where you don't have to drill a well, you've already got city water. That in itself makes perfect sense why we have a $25,000 difference between West Whately and East Whately. Now, there's more to it than that simplistic explanation.
I don't think they know that.
They may not.
We don't know who it's water, who doesn't.
They may not, but when I looked at it deeply, I'm like, that makes sense. And you guys saw the report essentially, and it doesn't have current, because current would be 2025 sales, and there are a lot of sales in there in 150s now.
You have the addresses for the location.
Oh.
You just said that the street on, so if you wanted to look to see what their land was assessed at.
Do I have addresses? Yeah, sure.
Well, the ones in that Haydenville Road and Masterson Road.
Do I have, oh, no, you know what? I don't, I understood. We'd have to look at that. And then, of course, Haydenville is. Yeah,
Do you have a copy from me?
yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry. Sorry, of course.
Right.
Yeah. Basically, this is what I did for a living. That's all I did. Now, there's more involved than what you see here, but that's how I made all my money in real estate.
So my question to you is like Sand Gully Road was 1 and almost 4/10 acres. So when they look at the land value, so is 1 acre at one price, and that, because that's considered a typical house lot, I think. And then the other part is assessed differently, is that right, Fred, or?
Yes,
That is true.
That's how we do it here. Now, I'm not sure every other town does the same thing.
So like sold price isn't exactly gonna be what assessed value is,
No,
because,
It's never gonna be the same.
so. So I wonder, how does that, how do sales transfer to assessed values?
Well, yeah, if I could, first of all, you quite a good point. Getting similar properties in a CMA is a challenge. Especially up here with so many variations versus down in Florida, where all the same subdivision will have 2,000 square foot homes. So that is a valid, way to look at that. And somehow, if you have more sales, sometimes those differences don't play out. The second thing is, to Fred's point, yes, the acre is what they're looking at for building a property. The additional land, may be assessed at a much lesser price, if I understand that right.
Right.
So, and now, and to your question, how does sale price, move into assessed value? That's what you're asking now, right? And that's another good question. The only thing I'm gonna say, and I've said it before, is assessed value is historical. And sale price is accurate if it's now. So you're always gonna be 2 years behind sale price versus assessed value. If we're using the last 2 years to determine, then you're gonna be 2 years behind. If I were to do this for you, because I wanted to help you sell your lot, I would have to find properties close to, within 3 months at least, maybe 6. Close to recent. That would be even more accurate, but you don't have to be all that accurate when it comes to assessment. I don't know if I answered that well or not.
And this is for calendar years 23 and 24.
That's correct. So it's 2 years behind.
Do you have it for 25?
I've requested them. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm requesting them, and I'm gonna do the same report for 25. When the
So
mortgage,
this is 2024.
this is 23 and 24.
Yeah.
So okay, I see the dates now, sorry.
Yeah.
So the next proper way to determine land values, which we're trying to figure out now through RRG, is use 24 and 25 land values and do this reporting again. Albeit a simplistic report, if I really to get involved here, I would find all the lots in Franklin County that are very similar in size. Yeah.
So if you were to look back at assessed values for 10 years for the 3 different zones.
Yep.
And look at how the assessed values have changed. What I'm wondering, is there a spike in a year?
1 year, we get a spike.
You know, have they all gradually increased as property went up in value? Have some of them increased more dramatically? I mean, what does that information tell us?
Well, first of all, the spike you might be talking about is what recently happened. If you were at 99,000 forever, weren't you? And all of a sudden it's down more. Now, the question you pose is, did that spike happen in conjunction with increased land sales?
Increased what?
Land sales. All of a sudden, land sales have started to increase. 10 years ago, were land sales flat? And then all of a sudden, you started to get this increase, and therefore we got increase in lot values, assessed values, or did it bounce along the way? Chances are it's again sales driven in my, it's a good way to go look at it. Find out over the last 10 years, where did it spike? It probably spiked 2 years ago. I bet 2 or 3 years.
You have to look at, go back 10 years and look at just land sales.
Right.
Their property values, yeah, they've increased probably.
Yeah, they probably, but when,
Look at
like,
land.
did they happen 10 years ago? Or did that increase? I thought we were flat for a while.
Yeah.
All the way to 2022, in my mind, because I could still buy that lot where I'm at for a reasonable price, 124, I think is what I think.
Yeah,
And they had been 99 to 105 forever.
right, for a couple of years, yeah.
Forever.
Yeah.
So it's a good question.
Yeah, that area, yeah, your area went up, and the other area, Masterson Road, I think did went up.
They probably went up after those sales.
Over time too.
Yeah. Because he couldn't give that land away forever.
Right.
So then, and then now he got some of the, actually, I was very interested in one of those lots, but he wanted a ridiculous number. So,
Yeah.
so I did, then it finally came down into the market. So I don't know who wants to go through that process. I don't mind giving that a shot.
But are you gonna get enough in 10 years? If you look at 10 years of data, is every year gonna give you enough sales, I don't know.
Yeah, we're back to using the law of large numbers to work for you, and when you don't have those large numbers, well, that doesn't, just like when you go in and you say, this property right here, does it make sense? Well, it's like a insurance company. We're gonna insure you because we know you're gonna live to 72, but you died at 40. That's an outlier, that's weird, that doesn't make sense. Or you made it to 106. So there's always gonna be, when you're working with large numbers, there's always gonna be a property, 1, 2, or 3. That isn't gonna make sense. It's not gonna make sense.
Well, in a lot of instances, you throw out the highest and you throw out the
That's
lowest.
what I did here, yeah. I noticed in this is that, like, you look at the, that's another way to do it. It's another way to, you look at the bottom 4 lines there, a Whately only. And you see, you have a 65,000 and a 189. Well, if you threw those two out, high and the low, we've only got 3 now, but that still spikes our sale price. Yeah, more so than if I kept them in. So we're back down to, we're gonna just pick numbers that support line, you know.
And it comes to,
There.
yeah, I mean, you could look at Pine Plains estate values since it started in, well, I forget what year, 18, 17, 18.
No, I leave them all the way to 14, 'cause that's the
14.
first house.
So look at you should have enough of the, what, 41 properties there. Make a spreadsheet showing,
Oh, sure.
showing the values, how they changed, and can you apply that percentage to the rest of the town to say, since your area changed, say, 8%
Mhm.
every year, on average, 8% every year, can we say that everything else in just East Whately or Whately should have increased 8%?
Well, dropping
But
back,
also, you have to stop and consider, it's a finite amount of land in Pine Plains, which sale prices may not reflect the true value,
that's good.
because there's no more land there. So I don't think that the increases,
Oh, they haven't been. That haven't, those, since 2014, you haven't been able to sell those past 105,000. Only in 23, when I purchased, then more people purchased land after that.
because there were a lot of lots available.
Supply and demand, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, that is the basics of,
Oh, is this
real estate.
last week?
well, yeah, I did it, and I wanna make sure you had it. We were,
Okay, so we'll look at these after you're gone, and I'll, want me to leave them in the office there, the table?
I gotta take those with me to Leominster for them to look at.
You take them today,
Well, I'm going up tomorrow, yeah.
okay?
I mean, I'll be back either Tuesday or Thursday of next week. and
So
take-
this is a new abatement on the very first page, it's for the, it says for the fiscal year 2026.
Let's,
Yeah.
before we get into
Before
that,
we
let's,
get-
let's,
go
we
ahead.
gotta focus on what we're doing here,
Go ahead.
James.
Well, I gotta take those with me and I need to leave now.
Okay,
that's,
let me
that's fine,
just,
we'll get them back.
just look quick, who you got here?
Fred, it's
Fred, I'm not
2
giving it to
minutes
you, but
past
I'm
5, Fred, he
saying
said
I
he needed to leave it
now.
behind.
Give me the full-
Okay. Well, I see.
Give him the elastic too, the
Okay.
elastic for
I
mine.
gotta go last thing.
Okay.
Hey, Derek, don't go speeding down the road.
No, not the speed. On the budget, I reviewed this with Peter this morning.
Okay.
The only thing that you folks have to look at, because I'm unfamiliar with it, is he said to ask you about Mayflower. Do you do anything with Mayflower anymore?
So,
Okay, the rest of the figures, from the RRG contract is laying flat at 40,000 because when we read through the contract, I guess it was supposed to escalate, but they never put the wording in, so I went over that with Peter and explained it to Dave that I have to leave it flat. All of the other figures he looked at and he okayed. So it's just a matter instead of you folks approving the budget.
we have copies for us.
Yep, you all have a copy. Yeah, when I put it with the agenda in the minutes.
We have a copy.
Yep. Yep, with the.
Oh, there it is, I got it.
Yeah.
And I'll give this to David tomorrow on the Bacon and Wilson.
And so,
Yeah.
that looks fine, so we need to,
Change
we need
this
to,
ends while you
You
have.
need to initial it?
well, we need to take an action.
End the meeting for now.
You're right,
Yeah,
There's a
okay.
motion to approve the budget. Proposed budget.
I motion we approve the budget. Present to us this day on January. February. 2024. Good night, year
Good night.
2020. My glasses. 27, sorry, 27.
Okay, second motion. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
We were just approving the budget.
No, I know,
Oh,
Correct.
I was listening.
that wasn't sure.
Aye.
We need to sign that? Probably.
I guess because it won't be in minutes. Wow, I gotta count.
But what do you mean there won't be any minutes?
Well, it'll go down for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, whenever we meet again, so.
Do you want, you wanna use my copy so you can keep yours?
I guess he's signing this one, so.
Okay.
Yeah, it was not a complicated budget.
So,
There you go.
now. Okay. I could put in Peter's mailbox for it. So, he didn't say anything about what's happening, right?
Hmm?
He hasn't told us.
Who he, you want to go in executive session before we start?
Wait, no,
No, okay. Then,
no,
let it be, you want to bring to the meeting something we should be aware of.
well, let's see what else we got here on the agenda. Okay, we got status, okay, items. Items not anticipated, okay, well, let's stick with the agenda. One was the our request to RRG to look at land values. And they wanted something in writing the last time, and I proposed something here. Comments back,
Yes, and
we need to sign one of these.
well, and to your point, and to our point at doing this, and they are a member of our team, RRG, so we certainly would use them as a member of the team to help us do our job.
Yeah.
Just like it was us redoing our own job. My question is, what if we get an answer from RRG that would require us to increase values of assessed values in East Whately Village Center? I can manage that.
West Wayland.
Did I say what's, yeah, West Whately, yeah, and Village Center. I'm gonna manage that particular scenario, should they say, yep, you're right. Or, yep, you're right, let's reduce land values in East Whately, which probably wouldn't get any complaints.
Yeah, right. Okay, I kind of asked that question when I met with Manzello a
Okay,
couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
How do you update the records for, say, land values? And he says there's a process in there where I guess you can focus on land values for East Whately, and you just tell the computer, update all these, this criteria, East Whately land value for 125 or whatever thousand, but the value. And it will automatically update all the whatever records in there, automatically do that. You don't have to go through each property record to update it.
that's
That was
fine,
my question, but you don't have to do that.
that's,
Otherwise, it would take you a day to go through all
Yeah.
the 600 records to update, well, 300 maybe for East Whately. To
and then,
update just the land value.
and then when you do that, the town. Where does what was I gonna say here? When you do that, how are you gonna explain to those who had an increase that this is lying? That's a good question.
Or look at other data, more data.
You have to support it somehow.
Yeah, nobody so far has questioned, at least my knowledge, and I don't know what the abatements he's got now, if any of them look at land value or not. Whether the land value is an issue or not.
Looking at the overall picture, yeah.
Looking quickly, that's why I wanted to see the names. I didn't recognize any on
We have one.
East Whately though.
Yeah, we're in session, so I'm gonna leave it at that.
So,
I agree with this.
okay,
This, oh, I'm sorry, was this your last vision? What was your last vision?
I added the section, chain one into characteristics and factors for use. I think I added it. The land characteristics or factors were used and why does this each area have a different geography?
And again, I like it, and again, I bet RRG does know
Yeah,
that, I bet they do know that one was. You need a well, the other you don't.
okay,
That's just a personal, I mean, these guys. All assessors, all appraisers. Know what affects value, and I'd be stunned if they didn't know that.
okay, so do you agree, Jane, do you?
No, I'm not, I would like to know more, but I would like to see what the history is of how they have increased.
Well, I think that's something, so I didn't get into a lot of detail, specifically what we wanted them to look at, I was leaving it open for them to tell us what they looked at. Cause they're gonna say, well, you did the analysis and you showed all these values changed, so. Or it didn't change, I guess, I don't think that's the board responsibility. You wanna compare 10 values in each of the areas to see what they were, let's see first what they come up with.
Well, okay, let me back up just a bit, and you got a good point, Jay. My gut is they're gonna support their answer.
Yeah.
What you're asking, for, past sales, that's what my bit is.
Yeah,
And I've kind of done a rudimentary past sales analysis. The question is, how did those past sales affect East Whately and not West Whately and the Village Center, which I think I have an answer to that too. But
yeah,
we need them to tell us this.
yeah,
So I see what you're saying. You would like a more in-depth analysis than what this is saying. A comparison of the last 10 years. Yeah, I don't know. I would think they could give us that.
yeah,
They got the data,
but
I mean, I would think it would be very easy for someone to pull
just in yank
from
that.
the,
Lot sales last 10 years, here's the new values. I would bet that would be pretty easy. And I hope I'm wrong, but I'm almost, let's just say, it's my opinion that they're gonna point to sales. That's my
well,
opinion.
if they do it, then we could ask them, well, how many years sales data did you look at? Or what sales data did you look at?
Well,
Uh,
and to Jane's point, he wants to go back 10 years, but there, if we don't specify, they're just gonna give us the last two.
yeah,
I wanna look at assessed values and see how those have changed. And
Oh.
how they,
Yeah, it's a good question. I wish I had a better answer. I think it's going to be based on past sales, but they probably have a better answer than I just said.
but you can look at, the listing on, that's on there now for the fiscal year 26, assessed values. You
Mhm.
can look at land and building and total values for each property, and you can pick out the ones that are in the three areas. Okay, you can see the current values they have for the land. You know, if you even focus on the 1 acre one, so you don't have to worry about excess land. Just look at the 1 acre one, so your 1 acre size.
Mhm.
You can see the values for the three areas that are there today. Okay, to go back, and I think James, somebody was saying. The GIS map with the values is 25 values, so you could look and see what the values were for 25. And you're gonna see East Whately was 116 or whatever, the 115.9.
Yep, wonderful last 2 years.
And I think the other two areas you won't see it, hardly any change,
To James' point,
so.
good point. To James' point, we could just get that data. We have all of the sales. It's on the website now, current assessed values and land data.
Yeah,
Could order that in 10 years. Sure, we could find a pattern there, right, which we could just do, but it would be a little cumbersome.
well,
It'd be easier, they could do it, and come up with a.
I don't think we can go, how would we get 10-year sales, so,
Oh, yeah, you're right.
we can only go back to 1 year that's in there.
Well, no, we can get 10 years of assessed values. Okay.
Wow,
Well,
no,
is it this year, assessed values online, right?
yeah,
Don't they do it every year?
right,
So last year.
they're not anywhere online that I see them.
Well, you'd have to ask for it.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, you have to ask for it.
yeah,
There's another way to do it, it's just cumbersome. So if they could just do it by punching some buttons, right?
Or you could look at the 26 ones that are in there. And identify how many ever you want in each of the three areas. Yeah, that would give you the property owner and the address, I think. I don't know if it gives us the parcel number. You'd have to look on the GIS for Christian Lane to see where Harold Swift is on there. You'd have to, on the map, you can, well, you have to get an address, you get also an owner and an address off of the fiscal 26 list. Take that address, you look on Christian Lane, and you can put your cursor on the map parcels, and it will tell you the address. So you can see where 85 Christian Lane is just by touching the map. At that parcel, you put another parcel, tell you that's 87. Another one is 92. So you can do that without a direct link to the name, and then, well, you will also get the name that may show up too when you do that. So there's a way of doing that.
Very cumbersome way.
Yeah,
Well, I tried to take from the assessed values that's listed on the Whately page,
yeah,
but I don't know. And I could plug in addresses on GIS,
Yeah.
but if I plugged in an address, I couldn't get back. But
Cumbersome.
well, it's one or the other. I think that, well, 26 has the address. I don't remember. For the 26th listing, does it show that East Whately or West Whately? May show that, so you could hunt through and pick the ones you wanted that way.
But to Jay's point, you need to hunt through 10 years from data.
Yeah, we don't have 10
we
years.
don't have.
We don't have.
And say, I wondered, like, because the Catalyst cards are all online, can they say, put in 10 addresses in East Whately, Village Center, and West Whately? And I think the Catalyst card has like 5 or 6 years back.
Oh,
Right, whatever, yeah, the property card is, yeah, right.
I mean, can somebody who knows what they're doing,
it's a
They
cover.
can do that, yeah.
cause I just wanna see. Did everybody go up a little bit each year, or, I mean, I understand that there's some years that it will go up more, but has Village Center crept up? Has East Whately, crept up?
Probably not. Again. Even East Whately hasn't, they've been stable for years. Just recently, for the last sales, they've started to creep up. East Whately only, but not Village Center, West Whately. They have not, they've stayed pretty solid, with the exception of those with view taxes.
But they're. Yeah, they can, I think they could do that, they could run that analysis. That we've identified. We identify the properties that they do and look at the. Whatever the history is on that card. Put it in the table. Cause even, I'm still.
And I guess you folks are telling, you two are telling me that it's all determined by sales. So it doesn't really,
Well, I think it's interesting to figure it out and to be able to explain to a taxpayer what's going on, and other than saying it's all sales, we can maybe show that. Report, I don't know.
There are copies of inspections that we made last year. Or 2 years ago, with Stephen, that are in a file in our office. I saw them the other day. There was a folder of fire inspections. There's maybe 20, maybe 30 of the property cards of properties we looked at 2 years ago. I guess we could look at them and pull out what is for the 3 areas to see if we have any there, and then you can look at the 10-year or whatever for each of them areas to see if they changed.
Why don't we do this?
Could do some of that.
We certainly want RRG to explain it to us.
Yeah,
They just come back and say, just look at sales, then we can say, well, we still need more information. And then maybe jump into a 10-year analysis type of request.
Yeah,
I think if, yeah, I know that Harold could sit there through Zoom and say, here's a report that I did for you. I know it's complicated. This is how we came up with new numbers. Stop doing that. I wish I was
yeah, that's.
able to ask that the very first time I met him.
And that's what Derek keeps saying, it's in the report, but I don't see that. You know, it talks total values, total assessed values with the comparisons. And then you've got the 10-year market trend, but it only gives,
10-year market trend.
it only gives the sale prices, total sale prices and
There's your answer. Can I say that?
an assessment, but there's no land. This is only property sales. Cause you look at the values are 250 to 300, and if you look at this. Then market trend analysis, I don't think there's any. Building value. Style street, sold price, ratio of transactions, there's no land value.
Well, let me ask this. When you go to reassess a property, year 1 to year 2, you're going to assess the total package. Are you gonna break out land and just assess what's sitting on land? That's good.
So look at your 5 pieces of land in Whately that you have.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me that the 2 properties that sold in 2023, both sold for more than list price. In 2024, the 3 properties that were sold all sold for less than list price. Is that indicative of something that's gonna be going on in the future?
Okay, you said there's.
You've got 2 from 2023.
No, what,
Okay,
where,
one is 2 Gray Oaks.
okay,
Okay, that sold for 22,000 over asking price.
yes, it did, okay.
Okay, and you go to Masterson, and that sold for $9,000 over asking price, list price.
Yes.
Okay, now you look at the ones that sold in 2024. 3 Francis Way went for $20,000 more than asking price. It's right next to the lot that went for 20 more the year before. River Road went for $16,000 less. Haydenville Road went for $25,000 less. In 2024, all the sales were less than list price.
Yeah.
I just wonder, is that the beginning of a trend? I mean, we have so few numbers.
Again, I've been in real estate so many, there are times in real estate history where you start with a list price.
Will you, what?
Where you start with a list price and you go up from there. You just go out, take the listing and go, we're gonna go out at this number, we know it's unsustainable, but there's no inventory. You mentioned it earlier, no inventory, everyone's running for it. And that would just start us at a list price and then be a bidding war. That's not common. I would say it's very uncommon. It's more common, I would say, across the board, with the exception of the 2003, 2008 run up, that list price and sale price will have a difference, depending on the market, anywhere from 10% to 3% difference. We would measure that. Okay, the newest data shows 3% difference. What does that tell me? It tells me that it's a seller's market. If it's a 10% difference, it tells me, well, buyers aren't chasing the sellers. So that's a good question. But does that indicate a trend? I don't believe it does. I just believe it indicates the lack of availability during those periods of time.
No, I just noticed it in those
good.
those numbers.
I hope it's not a trend unless I'm selling.
See, the only thing that looked at for land area in Arrow's report was these 2 neighborhood values, and that's total, they stratified it by size of parcels.
Okay.
And here, in this area, but it's total sales, there's no land value in there at all to show what the land values were for the years. It's total sales, and that's what Derek keeps saying, it's in that report. Well,
I bet if we get Harold here, it would be able to explain it.
Unless there's more to it besides this. Well, and the question, what do they do with all this information? How do they update the values of all properties.
Do they have to report to any authority above them?
Well, the DOR looks at what they did, and they will, I don't know how closely they look. And they would present this information to DOR.
That's curious.
And that's what,
So they have someone to answer to too.
yeah, and that's what Cynthia would do, is we would hire somebody, come in for a day or two, do all this kind of analysis. And present it to DOR, DOR would know that person. Qualifications to do that, and it would accept what they get. And that's what, how Cynthia and others in the past have done that. DOR would accept that based on this kind of analysis.
Our RG is derelict in anything, it's their dereliction is in their ability to explain to us the questions we have.
Yeah. And. Right. So I don't know whether we wanna go any further with your kind of study here.
No, that was just for your information.
Yeah, whether you wanna look at 25.
I do, yeah, I'm waiting for that data. I do want it, but this was not for publication to RG, it was just my way of saying, I think I know the answer to this question.
Yeah.
Again, it all makes sense,
Is that the whole well thing? Is that what you're saying?
but that makes sense to me, yeah.
Hmm.
That, if I'm gonna buy a lot in West Whately, I gotta spend 20 to 30,000 more to put a well in there, and I don't have to in East Whately.
Well, we have to pay $5,000.
Only 5, I get it,
Okay, yeah.
but it's not 30.
Well, no, but I'm saying that,
So that makes market sense to me.
But
It
you,
does.
but you also got, well, you got the water bill every year, how does, you gotta add that to the 5,000 that you're paying for water versus, I guess, the private well plus what, electricity cost to get the water?
Well, cost, well,
Well, so, I mean, you gotta, you
But-
just can't compare an initial price, I guess.
well, yes, I agree with you, I agree 100%, but if the only parameters I'm looking at is you have a well and you don't, and I have a buyer that wants the property, the same property, so the difference is you have a well and you have city water, well, I'm gonna wanna pay less for the guy where I have to put a well in, right?
Yeah.
Than what I would have, and they're both the same principal substitution, I'm gonna get the biggest bang for my buck,
but
yeah.
so you're saying you would buy the house that needed the well?
No, what I'm saying is, we got two lots. This one's in West Whately, this one's in East Whately. This one, they want 150 for, but I have to put it in well. So let's say it's 175 by the time I'm done.
Yeah.
This one is 150, but I don't have to put it in a well. So that's a $20,000 savings. They're both equally, I both like them the same. I'm going to reserve to the one that gives me the best bang for the less price, principal substitution.
And do you think people do it that way? Evaluate that?
You got 3 houses, it's the same thing, principal substitution, you got 3 houses, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and built in 2000. The first 2, they want 500, the last one, they want 250. What are you gonna pay? They all look the same to you, they all have the same
Did-
amenities.
Did you look at it that way when you bought your property there?
I
Francis
did
Way?
not think of it that way, no, I did not. But if I were a realtor, I would know that answer.
Yeah,
I would say, why is this one 25,000 more than this one? And a good realtor would say, well, you gotta put a well in this one, and this way you don't.
but,
So,
There's one of many parameters, once those.
yeah,
right, and some people may prefer to have a well,
That's right.
because then they don't have $600 or $700 or $800 in water expense every year.
Mhm.
So, in 20 years, that's,
that's up, yeah.
Good point.
so, I had another question, now I lost it.
I'm sorry.
That's okay, it's my fault.
Basically, I try to pick the
Oh,
parameters.
so how does, once the houses are built, okay? I have the well, you don't have the well. Okay, so then your land should continue to be worth $20,000 more than mine if it was at the start. Does that follow
And I would
through?
tack that right on the sale price.
You
And then
know,
when someone says, how come yours is 20,000 more? Because I had to put a well in. And you did. Did absolutely, I picked the parameters that most people would find valuable. View, size, or things like that.
no, but what I'm saying is it going to then be part of your assessed values forever, that your lot that she didn't have to put the well in, and my lot that I put the well in. So there should continue to be that $20,000 difference.
There should be a difference, yeah.
You know, and does that, I mean, I didn't wanna think about researching that.
Oh, no, it's like, if you have a pool and I don't, are you gonna, same thing.
Are we still being recorded?
Yes.
Can we join and get into a different discussion?
Okay, any other items before we adjourn? Next, we never set a meeting date.
I think we should set a date and a time so that everybody can.
Yeah, that was so
and-
frustrating to me.
Do we wanna go, when we have the 4th? Thursday of the month?
But let me say this, I'm always available. I just, we got put off so many times, I says, I'm not sure changing my schedule,
Yeah.
but yes, I'm always available. Pick a date and I'll make it work.
We don't have 4 more Thursdays in February, so we wanna,
No, I think we should meet,
because we need to start to work on the abatements.
yeah.
So the 26th,
Yeah, okay,
2/26.
do that. 26 at what time? 3?
Three's fine. I apologize for not being able to make this at 3.
Okay. After that, then how things go, I think meeting twice a month is just
That's fine.
more helpful and shorter meetings probably.
I think so. I'm.
Okay, meeting adjourned.